In this section, you will unlock the power of Python strings by learning how to index, slice, and analyze them. Whether you are editing user input, parsing text data, or just trying to reverse a word, understanding string indexing and slicing is an essential skill. In Python, a string is more than just a text block. It is a sequence. That means it works just like a list or a tuple. Every character inside a string, including letters, numbers, spaces, and even symbols, has a unique position called an index. It is clear that strings in Python are sequences. Let us explore how they are indexed. Think of a string as a train, where each character is a separate carriage, and each carriage has a number. In Python, that number is called an index, and it starts from 0 up to n minus 1, where n is the total number of characters in a string. For example, take this string, message code master. Python views this string like this: code master, and the position or the index of each string in computer memory can be recorded look like this. So the letter C is at index 0, the letter O is at index 1, and this continues until the exclamation mark at index 11. Even the space between code and master has its own index. That space is at index 4. It might not look like much, but Python treats it like any other character. Symbols like the exclamation mark are also counted. Every letter, symbol, space, or punctuation mark is treated as an individual character with its own index. This includes like at, hash, star, question mark, etc. So this simple system of indexing gives us precise control over the content of a string. So this string has 12 number of characters. You can check it out using the len function. For example, print len message. As you can see, the total number of characters in this string is 12. So n is equal to 12, and the index always starts from 0 up to n minus 1. N is 12, and 0 up to 12 minus 1, that is 0 up to 11. So this string is represented by the indexes from 0 up to 11. Next, I will show you how to use these index numbers in action, starting with accessing characters using positive index values. Positive indexing means the count starts at 0 from the left side of the string and increases by 1 for each character. To access a character, you use square brackets with the index number. For example, if you want to access the first character, you use index 0. So print message square bracket and index number, that is 0. Then you will get C because C is found at index 0. To get the fifth character, use index 4. So print message square bracket index number, that is 4. So the output is white space because in our case the fifth character that's found at index 4 is a space. This example highlights that spaces are treated just like any other character and have their own index. To access the last character of the string, since the length is 12, you use index 11. Print message square bracket index number, that is 11. So you'll get exclamation mark because the last character in this string is exclamation mark found at index 11. Using positive indexing helps us extract or examine individual characters directly and is foundational for string manipulation in Python. Next, we will explore how to work with characters starting from the end of a string using negative indexing. In Python, we can also access characters by counting backwards from the end of the string. This is especially useful when we wanna target characters near the end without knowing the exact length of the string. So negative indexing starts at -1 from the end of the string, which refers to the last character. For example, if you wanna get the last character, you simply use -1. So print message square bracket -1. So you get exclamation mark. That is the last character in negative indexing. You can use -1, and in positive indexing, you can use 11. So the last character is found at position 11 in the positive indexing and -1 in the negative indexing. To get the second last character, we go one step further back. So you can use print message square bracket -2 and you'll get R. So as you can see, the second last character is found at -2 and it continues this way. Print message -3 gives E and so on. This reverse indexing method is incredibly helpful when working with file names, user input, or any other situations where the length of the string may vary, but the pattern at the end remains consistent, like file extension or domain suffixes. So using both positive and negative indexing gives you full control when accessing individual characters in a Python string. Now that we understand how to access single characters using both positive and negative indexing, the next step is slicing. Slicing allows us to extract a portion of a string, not just a single character, by specifying a range of index numbers. It is like cutting out a segment of text based on where it starts and where it ends. Here is the basic syntax. A string, square bracket, start, colon, stop. This will return a new string containing characters starting at the index start and stopping one before the index stop. Let us take an example. If we want to extract just the word code, we slice from index 0 up to 4, but not including index 4. So print message square bracket 0, that is the start index, colon 4. 4 is the stop index, but it will not include the stop index. It just includes 1 minus from the stop index. Similarly, if we want master, we slice from index 5 to the end. So the end is 12. Print message 5 colon 12. Notice that how the stop index is not included in the result because there is no element that found at index 12 in this view. So this is a standard behavior in Python and gives you clean and predictable slices. We can also use negative indexing with slicing. For example, to extract the last 3 characters of a string, so it starts from -3 up to the end. So we leave out the end index and print message -3 colon. No need to specify the end index because we want to extract the last 3 characters, means we just start from -3, that is the start index, and goes to forward, then to the end. If we leave out the start index, Python also assumes that we wanna begin from the beginning. For example, print message colon 4, which means we didn't specify the start index, so it assumes that we are starting from the 0 index up to index 4. So we get code. And if we omit the stop index, Python goes all the way to the end. For example, print message 5 colon without stop index, which means we are slicing strings from the 5th index up to the end. So we will get master. A slicing is precise, flexible, and essential when working with text data. Next, we'll take string slicing a step further by introducing a powerful third parameter known as the step or stride value. Until now, we have been slicing strings using just the start and stop positions. This gives us a specific portion of the string. However, Python provides even more flexibility by allowing us to define how many characters to skip each time it slices through. This is where the step value comes in. It controls how Python moves through the characters. Here is the syntax. A string, start, colon, stop, colon, step. If we want to extract every second character from index 0 to index 10, print message start index is 0, colon, 10, that is the stop index, and colon 2. It just skips every second characters starting from the start index up to the end index. So it starts at index 0, then grabs C, then skips one character, for example, that skips O to the index 2. The index 2 is D, and grabs D and continues this process up to but not including index 10. That is the stop index. So we get this substring. Let us try another one. If we want every third character from index 1 to index 9, print message 1 the start index, 9 the end index, and a step is 3. So it starts from the first index, that is O, and goes to the third index. It just goes to until the stop index, that is 9. So we can also use the stride to reverse a string. For example, message double colon -1. This tells Python to start from the end of the string and move backward one character at a time, effectively reversing the string. When we use double colons without providing specific start or stop values, Python assumes we want the entire string. A stride of 1 gives us every character in order from 0 to the end, but a stride of -1 gives us every character in reverse order. Now let us modify the stride to -2. Print message double colon -2. So this tells Python to go through the string backwards, but skip every other character, like every other character in the forward stride. This is useful when you want to sample data in reverse at regular intervals. So the stride parameter becomes especially powerful when you are analyzing patterns, filtering text, or manipulating sequences in specific ways. Whether you are reversing text, skipping characters, or creating more dynamic slices, this third value adds flexibility that goes far beyond simple slicing. Now that we have seen how slicing works, including stride, let us shift our focus to another practical task in string handling. It's called counting characters. In many real-world applications, you must count how many times a specific letter, word, or symbol appears in a given string. This is where Python's built-in count method comes in handy. Here is an example. Text: the rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. Then print text.count the substring in from the string text. So it's going to count how many times the substring in is appear in the given string text. So this will return the number of times the substring in appears in the sentence. In this case, it shows how often that specific pattern occurs, which is especially useful in text analysis or cleaning up user inputs. You can also count single characters. For example, print text count A. So how many times the letter A appears in the sentence. This tells us how many times the character A appears in the text. So the count method is simple but powerful. Whether you are scanning logs for specific keywords, analyzing survey responses, or validating user input, this method helps you extract quantitative insights from raw text. Now that we have explored indexing, slicing, and counting in strings, let us turn our attention to locating specific characters or substrings within a string. Python provides two built-in methods, such as find and index. Let us begin with find. This method searches for a specified substring within a string and returns the index of the first occurrence. If the substring is not found, it returns -1 instead of throwing an error. For example, message, the future belongs to those who code it. Then find the substring code from the given sentence. Print message.find code. Then in this example, Python searches the string for the word code and returns the index where it starts. Therefore, the code starts at index 32. If code is not found, it simply returns -1. For example, we can add code s, codes, then as you can see, it prints out -1 instead of occurrence of the first character in the given substring, because that codes is not found in the given text. Now let us look at index. This method works similarly to find, but there is one major difference. If the substring is not found, it raises a value error. Otherwise, it is similar. For example, let's find the index of the code. Print message.index code, then it returns the same result. That if you print message.index codes, it returns value error because that codes is not found in the given text. So the index returns the starting position of the substring code, but if the word is not found, Python will throw an error and stop the program, as you can see. That means you should only use the index when you are certain the substring exists. Otherwise, you are recommended to use find. In conclusion, string indexing and slicing give you precise control over text in Python. Since strings are sequences, you can access characters by position or extract ranges with slices. Whether retrieving a single character, skipping steps, or reversing the text, these techniques help you write more flexible and efficient code. Understanding them strengthens your skills not just with strings, but with all sequence-based types in Python.